last week's entries aside, it's been a great year and we've had a lot of fun. But unfortunately, we've been gaining two new hosts, losing Korean for an extended period of time, and burning ourselves out on BlueStacks. So between all those things, we have barely put a dent in our backlog, which brings us to today's topic. Okay, so my first game, hang on, we're sliding over here, is going to be Death Stranding, which I think is actually kind of appropriate because they just came out a few weeks ago with the director's cut. And in a way, I was actually kind of waiting for that, but I'll get into that in a bit. So to start off, Death Stranding is made by Kojima Productions. It was published by Sony Interactive Entertainment for the PS4, and for the PC, it was published by 505 Games. It originally released on November 8th, 2019, and I got it for Christmas 2019, and I still haven't played it 2 years later because there's just been that many games that I've had to catch up on. And when I did hear that they were making a director's cut, which was around the time that they announced the Ghost of Tsushima director's cut as well, then I thought, you know what, at this point, I might as well just wait for that. I mean, I did the same thing with Final Fantasy 15, where it was in my backlog for so long, and then finally they came out with the Royal Edition. I was like, you know what, I'll just get the upgrade and just play the full game. And so now I'm going to do the same thing here with Death Stranding. So the director's cut came out on September 24th, 2021, and I still haven't gotten to it, but it should be able to get to it soon. As far as genre goes, it's kind of a weird one. A lot of people call this like the quintessential walking simulator. But the premise of the game is, in the future, there's been some disaster. Lots of people have died. There's not too many people left, and of the people that are left, they're very isolated. So in some ways, it's kind of similar to what we're experiencing with COVID-19, or at least what we were with quarantine. And basically, your main character, it's his job to maintain some form of communication between these different isolated outposts. You know, he's kind of a delivery man. He takes what people need from point A and takes them to point B. And so he's a very special kind of person in this world. And that's pretty much the game, is you carrying goods from point A to point B. As you can see, there's quite a bit of hiking, climbing, and of course there's going to be some intrigue and weird Kojima shenanigans along the way, you know, babies that help you resurrect and ghost people walking around, and Guillermo del Toro is in it. So yeah, it's looked pretty good, and the more I watch the trailers, the more interesting it looks, because it's just kind of like all sorts of Kojima oddness, and I really enjoy that sort of thing. So for me, it's going to be really interesting. I always like his lore because he's just kind of way out there, and between him and Yoko Taro, there's always just all sorts of bizarre philosophies to explore and whatnot. But yeah, so I'm gonna be playing this one hopefully this next year, like as I said, because the director's cut is out, so now I can get the full version. As far as will we be getting sequels to this game, I don't know. I'm gonna have to play it and find out, because I've been pretty good. I'm usually the kind of person who likes to look up spoilers, but I've been pretty good about not looking up too much on this game. I know the basic idea of it. I know some of the cameos in it. For instance, Conan, the late night host, is in the game. If you can watch his special where he goes there and they like scan his face and everything, and he's got just a really kind of random cameo in it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. So I think this is the first Kojima game since leaving Konami. So
Yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted to say. And it's a Hideo Kojima game, which is why I did not buy it. I
you don't like
was
Kojima games?
still, now you know me, I'm still very annoyed at how MGS5 ended. That he
Ah,
left without finishing the game, and that pissed me off. And also, I never like having like the game in chapters with Hideo Kojima all over the screens at every chapter.
it does that.
They yeah, they don't do that in Death Stranding, so I watched
Okay.
the game, and actually I was wondering because this game, I'm not gonna spoil the lore. For one good reason is because it's so complicated that I can't actually remember everything, quite a lot of it actually. And I was wondering what's the difference between the previous edition and the director's cut. What do they add? Some odd scene that they cut or something like this? Like I don't imagine it's a Zack Snyder Batman 5 hour movie.
Yeah, no,
It's not gonna
I think
change
they just
much, I guess.
added some content. I because there wasn't any DLC, so I think they just kind of like
Yeah,
the
but
Ghost of Tsushima where they've enhanced some things, and I think they might have even added a few scenes or kind of fleshed out certain areas a little bit more than maybe they had been
okay.
previously.
Because this time this the story is well rounded and with it's finished, it's finished. I don't think there will be a number two.
Oh, okay.
I don't see how they would do that. Or again, I don't remember the story in detail, but in my mind, no, there wouldn't be a DLC or something after the original story. I don't see it happening. But so as you described it, and I think a lot of my friends described it the same. This game could have been subtitled UPS, the game, because
Yeah.
that's exactly this. UPS in an apocalyptic world. It's very fun to watch, to play. I don't know. I know that there's a lot. I can't spoil too much because I know that you haven't played it, but
Yeah.
just know that there is a big, quite a big notion put on collecting stuff, whether it's collecting it in the wild or through quests. And you need to do every single secondary quest because is I think I can say it is basically crossing America from
Yeah.
east to west. Being an American yourself, you can imagine the trip.
Yeah.
That, yeah, on foot
Mostly on foot.
in an apocalyptic world. So that's quite the adventure. And you saw maybe in the trailer that there is some vehicles at some point in the game, and you need to collect stuff to actually create a road, a highway from east to west, so that you don't have to walk the whole time after because it gets very tiring very fast. And it is very long, like you're not just like going, like even crossing France on foot would be long, so I can't even imagine the US. It would take like months or years or anything. So
Takes a long
yeah.
time. People have done it, but yeah, it takes a long time.
Yeah, it's like Forrest Gump.
Well, he ran most of it, so
Exactly.
but
In
yeah.
any case, yeah, it's a very convoluted story. You like or you don't like. I liked some part of it, not everything, because that wasn't really my kind of story, even though the world is quite interesting. I had a lot of trouble understanding how the monster in this game works.
Hmm.
Why sometimes they're invisible, why some. I even now I know I watch the stream, I watch the whole game, and no, I know that Norman Reedus, that you of course know for Walking Dead, um, is special in this world. Is even more special than most, and I remember a bit why. At least I know his origin, which make him special. But again, this is very complicated. So if you want to stream this one, I think I will rewatch the stream just to try to remember the story a bit more.
Yeah, the plan is to stream
And
this one. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but we'll have to see.
long.
Yeah, a
I
long
recall
time.
it was long because again, you really have to do all the secondary quests if you want to put the highway, and I just can't stress how important it is to do the highway so you can just take your bike or a truck and because
Yeah.
you can't zoom when you don't have the highways. There's rocks everywhere. You bump into everything and it just doesn't work. So when you have a nice, clean, straight highway, like heavens, yay!
Well, I'm the kind of guy who likes to clear out all the side quests anyway, so that was probably
Mhm.
gonna be what I ended up doing anyway. If
And
you've watched,
I
oh, go ahead.
yeah. No, it's just I'm thinking right now, but I can't remember. I don't think there's any fast travel in this game.
Probably not. I don't think so.
I don't think so. You really have to use a highway from east to west, west to east every time. So Sorry,
Oh
I
no,
cut you.
I was just gonna say if you've watched my streams, I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and the idea was I was like, okay, I'm gonna streamline this main quest, and yeah, that has not happened. I am getting distracted every 5 feet, and it's like, oh, there's a bandit camp. This will only take a second. You know? Like, oh, there's a Thunderjaw.
Betrayals.
I don't have to kill it, but I'm tempted to. So,
I want to
y-
get all the blazing suns.
yeah, exactly. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, so I think what I've decided to do is, I'll go to the trials, but I'll complete the trials offline. I finished them all online so far. I think I've gotten, or no, I've been to 3 and I've completed 2 of them online, and I finished the third one offline. I think I'll skip those and just do those offline. But
Yeah,
uh,
but
yeah,
again, it's extremely important in Horizon Zero Dawn again to do these side quests,
oh
trials,
yeah,
because you don't really have a leveling system. Your leveling system is your weapons.
yeah,
At some point, when you finish the hunting cabin, you have this massive weapon which basically take off all the weapon from a Sender Joe, and you just in front is come here now. You,
oh yeah,
you piss me off the
the
whole game, and then it makes the game that much easier. So.
yeah, and then also in the final fight of that one, they have depending on the side quests you've completed, different people will show up
Oh
at
yeah,
the
yeah,
end.
yeah, but that was honestly I was a little bit disappointed
Doesn't
because
make
just
any
for
difference.
exactly, I made it without the quest and with the quest just to see how helpful they are,
It's
and they
just
are utterly
dialogue.
useless, absolutely useless. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just
that's a
purely for
shame.
dialogue. Because the
Exactly.
first time I finished it, I missed one quest, and then I went back and I just never had visited that one space, and so I had never accessed that quest. But yeah, I was like, I'm missing somebody because I didn't get the trophy for it. And then I went back and I did it, and I was like, oh yeah, that didn't change anything. It's just she's there, and you're like, hey, thanks for showing up. Oh, no problem. That was it.
I'm noticing that when it's just the two of us, we tend to digress a lot. Huh?
We
We
do,
really
we
need
do, we do. But
we need Phil or Korean to keep us on the rails.
yeah. All right, but yeah, so that's me for Death Stranding. I believe
Yeah.
Antoine is up next. So how about you tell us about your game that you're looking forward to playing next year?